Hi guys, so this is my in good faith travel adventure testimony. Today I will be testifying about my travel in Reno, Nevada and Las Vegas, Nevada. I normally share some adversities that I experienced on my travel, as this travel was a faith travel, meaning I didn't see the full guarantee that it would be successful. I didn't see the full guarantee that I would be making the money that I required on travel, etc. I will be also sharing my testimonies, some good points and some fun points that I had along the way. Before we get into the message, I want to thank you guys for being here, and I want to remind you guys to please subscribe to the Social Progress Podcast YouTube. If you guys prefer to listen to audio episodes, you can go to the Social Progress Podcast on Anchor and Spotify. If you want to know how to support me as an independent storyteller and artist, I am qualified to receive the Anchor loyalty program, I believe it's called. And basically what that means is I have the opportunity to open up a subscription based support monthly support program for my loyal listeners. So if you guys wanted to spend 99 cents up to $4.99, I believe it is, to support me every month as an independent artist and storyteller, podcaster, you guys can do that by donating every month. So it's like a Netflix or a Hulu account if you guys see value in my content. Also, I have a $40,000 housing GoFundMe. I have been grid working when I've been traveling. I learned that I'm a grid worker, and what that basically means is, as a light worker, I'm sent to specific locations during specific times of the year, and I do healing work. I move the energy in the grid lines in around the country, around the nation, around the world, and that helps clear out any dense energy, any low vibrational energy, any negative energy in that specific location, in that specific areas of wherever I went. I'm still learning what grid working and light working means to me and what it means in general. But that's kind of a general definition of what that is. My housing GoFundMe. I created a housing GoFundMe at the beginning of this journey to save for my very first home. When I created the GoFundMe, it was to sponsor my hotels, my food, my water, my basic essentials like feminine products along my way. And I didn't really promote the GoFundMe like I should have throughout that journey. So now I'm here in the motherland, and I'm using the GoFundMe as a savings account to pay off a small debt that I accumulated medically while I was traveling. And the rest of it is going to go to my very first home. I have been traveling, I'm single, I have no kids. So it's time for me to get my very first home. It's time for me to get my own space. It's time for me to kind of adult and do my own thing. So if you guys appreciate this message, if you guys are here and you guys want to donate, there's no amount that's too small. This month of October is my birthday month, so I really would greatly appreciate you guys if you guys sent donations to the GoFundMe. Shout out to the last person who donated. I believe his name is Aaron, and he donated $250. I am so grateful for that large donation. Thank you so much. That is definitely going to go to my savings for a hotel here while I'm on my motherland, the island of Guam. Faithfully, I can save it, and somebody else, I can have another place to go. Maybe, who knows, the Holy Spirit would bless me. I believe in miracles, so maybe the Holy Spirit will bless me with somebody who has a brand new renovated, never been used before home on the island of Guam, and I get to use it for like a year or something, right? I am just manifesting and allowing the blessings to come to me while speaking out into the universe what I would like. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to that portion. We'll go ahead and jump into the testimony. So I am testifying about Reno and Las Vegas, Nevada. When I went to Reno, it was a short experience in Reno. I was passing through, I was on the Greyhound, and I'm trying to remember what I did in Reno, but I feel like I didn't stay there too long, and I went straight to Las Vegas, Nevada, because I had nowhere to go and I had no money for a hotel. Pro tip for any travelers out there: if you are traveling state to state, the Amtrak train is affordable, and the reason why I choose Amtrak as a way of public transportation, if that's your form of travel, is because it's a train, it's spacious, you can walk around and stretch your legs, and it's also a little bit of a longer ride, but you get to experience the scenery. So if you're not in a rush and you plan things out appropriately to take the train, the Amtrak train is definitely your go-to option. The Amtrak can be expensive because it is a train and it has more perks than being in a bus, so just keep that in mind. City to city, like Reno to Las Vegas, I don't believe it was that expensive, but the Greyhound was definitely cheaper. Going to Greyhound, pro tip: if you guys are going to be traveling and using public transportation, the Greyhound is your most affordable option. Even though it's far, whether you're going city to city or state to state, your Greyhound is going to be your best option price-wise. If you want to treat yourself to the Amtrak, the pros and cons with the Amtrak and the Greyhound is, like, if you want to treat yourself, invest a few dollars in the Amtrak. The reason being is because, first of all, the Greyhound is small, it's a bus, and it's closed, so it gets crowded. For two, that's a con. It's small for one, con. It's two, it's crowded, and if it's full with people, sometimes it could get a little stuffy. For three, there was a bathroom inside the Greyhound, or the Greyhound bus, which is a plus. But sometimes if you end up sitting in the back, you're going to be selling the septic tank and the chemicals back there, and if you're sensitive to scent like I am, it's not going to be a fun ride. The pros of the Greyhound is that it's affordable, and it's always available. There's always options available, right? The cons with the Amtrak is sometimes it can be a little pricey, and I think that that's the only, like, con that I would say, because I love the train. Because the pros is that it's spacious, you can walk around, you can move around, you can stretch your legs, for one. For two, you can take the scenery, you can take the long way home, and you could experience the scenery. And for three, you meet some type of people there on all the public transportations, but you meet interesting people along the way. So when I went from Reno to Las Vegas, I got the Greyhound bus because obviously it was affordable and it was a short trip. I don't think it was that short. It was like an hour or something, but it was a short trip compared to the trips that I had before. One of the things that I wanted to amplify in this testimony is one of the ways that I was sheltered when I went through Las Vegas, Nevada, is I had a friend, Tina, who I don't know if she messaged me or I messaged her, but I was letting her know that I was there in Las Vegas, and she's like, oh my god, I'm right there next to, like, the public transportation center. She told me, like, she was working and stuff, but she was, like, gonna talk to her husband and see if it's okay, like maybe she can help me out. This was already the time when there was attempts to influence my money, control my money, by three main people. There's three main culprits. One of them was my family, and three of them were complete strangers. I never met them in person, but these were people who passed by me in the digital world on social media. And these people targeted my finances. I'm hearing the word satanically. They try to put satanic rituals and spells on my finances, which is cleared now and which has been lifting now, a year later. But they wanted me to be homeless. They wanted me to be broke and poor. They wanted me begging for money. They wanted me begging for the bare basic necessities like feminine hygiene, water, being able to go to a health and wellness grocery store and get fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, etc. So one of the reasons why I needed help was because of this. They tried to put my money, do money spells on me, put my money in a jar and lock my money, so that way I would struggle. Throughout my journey, I can hear my ancestors saying like, you're not supposed to be homeless. You're not supposed to be struggling. I was doing tarot and oracle cards at the time, and that's how I was making my money online. I just said waking, so somebody's waking up to the criminal acts that they've done. But my ancestors were like, I'm a good tarot reader and oracle reader, and I had consistent customers, and I had new customers coming in, and then all of a sudden my social media algorithm is acting funny. So this is another thing that was impacted and influenced by people who literally casted like spells, like black magic spells. I don't know exactly what they use, but it was just to impact my money and impact my algorithm. The reason why they did this is because they were jealous and envious of me. But who am I? I'm a stranger. We never even met in person. Why are you targeting me? Because they know that there's something special about me. So they intentionally and directly attacked my algorithm and my money. And now it's lifted. Now it's clear. Now I'm sharing my testimony. Now I'm sharing my stories. Now it's done. They can no longer, now they know not to, they can no longer do that to me any longer. So that's one of the reasons I'm recently finding out evidence. This is one of the reasons why I was experiencing houselessness, and I was experiencing my algorithm not moving. All of a sudden I made thousands of dollars from tarot and oracle cards. All of a sudden, after a certain amount of time of traveling, I'm not making any money with tarot and oracle. What is going on? I'm a really good tarot reader. I'm a really good oracle reader. My algorithm normally has like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 people in my live stream coming in. Where are the people? Well, I found out that these 3 people, specific strangers, and then I also found out that my family is also like gossiping about me, judging me, laughing at me, being she's a traveler, she's a podcaster, she's a storyteller, she's out here asking people for donations. This is a business. In 2020, the Holy Spirit told me to quit my job. I actually got fired because I didn't want to quit my job. And God is like, I done told you that your time here is up and you're not listening. So I'm going to agitate you so you can be uncomfortable and you can cause yourself to like get fired, which it did happen. Funny way that God works. And then God told me to start my podcast, to start my sharing my testimonies, because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a light worker. I'm an earth angel. I'm not supposed to be working an 8 to 5 job that I'm not happy at. I'm not supposed to be doing things that don't satisfy my spirit. I'm not supposed to be doing things that doesn't bring out my inner child. And as a light worker and as an earth angel, this is one of the benefits that we receive. We get to create the life that we always wanted since we were little children. We get to create the lifestyle, the way of living that we want to create, that we want to have. And now I created new intentions, acknowledging the experiences and the adversities that I was placed through, appreciating that I'm still alive and breathing, and just knowing like I can't just hang out with anybody. If you're an earth angel or a light worker, a star seed, if you're an indigo child, if you're a rainbow child, like if you're a chosen child, we can't just go anywhere with anybody anymore. We can't just go anywhere. We can't just shop anywhere. We can't just invest our dollar in any type of business. It has to be spiritual, and it has to be aligned with what we believe in. So if there was a metaphysical shop that was like in the mall compared to a metaphysical shop owner that like goes to Chamorro Village or goes to flea markets or all these little small places, I would likely go to the metaphysical shop that goes, to pop-ups and different things, because they are a independent business artist, instead of investing maybe in one that's in a mall, right? Not to say that the ones in the mall are not worthy of receiving my business. I just am learning to invest my dollar, my energy and time, and where I spend my life consciously. So moving forward from that, that was one of the reasons why. So my friend called me and she's like, I'm in Las Vegas. This is my husband. Like, he said you can come over, whatever, we'll shelter you. So I get to Las Vegas. I call her. We get there. She brings me home. This is my childhood friend. This is the girl that I ate lunch with. I sat with. I remember practicing like how to gay IS with her. And this is the girl that we got in trouble with. We got into fights together. We fought each other. And I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting that the Holy Spirit, the universe, is bringing me back to one of my childhood friends. So I stay there for a few days. I meet her husband. We do regular activity. This was around the time when I was still like, another thing that I learned is that there was magic spells for me to be addicted to smoking cigarettes. When I was in high school, I started smoking cigarettes to be cool. I am not a smoker. I'm a social smoker, and I only would smoke like after I'm eating or when I'm like upset. And even the Marlboro Green Lights was my smoke. I would only smoke half a stick. That's how you know I'm not a smoker. My pack would last me about a week. Well, when I'm traveling, all of a sudden I'm picking up cigarettes from the ground. Used cigarettes, smoked cigarettes, asking people for cigarettes. I don't do that type of behavior. I don't do that type of habits. Why am I doing these type of habits? Now I'm waking up to the fact that that was a spell. Like somebody wanted me, because in 2020 I finally quit smoking cigarettes. 2021, 2022, all of a sudden I'm going back to cigarettes again. Why? When I quit cigarettes, I couldn't quit cold turkey, so I felt like I had to buy the pack and then just leave it in my drawer, and I didn't touch it. Just consciously knowing that it was there, I just left it alone after that. And then now all of a sudden I'm smoking cigarettes again. But yeah, we hang out for a few days, I'm smoking cigarette. Why the heck am I smoking cigarette? She's a smoker. And it's just like, okay, so there I am. Another fun experience that I had when I was in Las Vegas is this was the first time that I busked in Las Vegas, Nevada. What that means is, as an artist, you go and you perform and you do your job, and people come by and stop by and they give you tips, or they purchase your service, or partake in whatever it is activity you're doing. Well, I had my tarot cards, so I was giving out tarot readings, and there was this older white couple, white woman and man, and they were drinking on the strip. And the woman stopped by and she asked me for a tarot reading. She's like, oh, how much is your tarot readings? And I was like, oh, it's donation based. And she was like, I'll give you $1. And it was a ripped dollar. And I was like, can you give me another dollar? And she was like, why? I was like, this is a ripped dollar. And she's like, you're trying to trick me. You want to get more money. And I was like, no, I know my value as a tarot reader, and I'm not going to accept this half a ripped dollar that I won't be able to use anywhere else. And then the guy was like, honey, give her $1. So she didn't take the rip one. She gave me another $1, I believe. And she asked me, like, do you think me and him are going to stay together? And I was like, girl, I do not need tarot cards to tell you. I guess that they are in a marriage, but they're in a time in their relationship where they want to be young, and they just kind of want to like be friends in the relationship. So I told her, like, I believe you guys know the answer to that, and that only you guys know that you guys wants and desires. I feel like the guy loved her and cared for her, but I felt like maybe she wanted to go around with other people and cheat. Maybe, I don't know, some people are weird. Not weird, everybody has their own preference. Maybe she was a swinger. I didn't want to invest too much energy into it because, one, she wasn't taking her relationship seriously, so I couldn't take the reading seriously to read her and the relationship. For two, she wasn't taking me seriously as a tarot reader. So I just didn't want to share that energy and put that energy in there. So that was that. That was interesting though. I was very proud of myself because I was like, I am an ethical, on point, grandmother-led, inner child, highest self-led reader. Meaning, like, your grandmother wants you to know things that you might be ignoring or you're not seeing. I'm ethical. I have values when it comes to reading. I'm professional. And thirdly, I'm dang good at my job and what I do, and I love doing it too. So I was very proud of myself that I utilized my throat chakra. Because before, when I was younger, I was very shy, very not timid. I was just shy to be around other people, other energies. And when I wanted something, I would be afraid to ask for it. Not shy, I would just be afraid to ask for what I wanted. But I was proud because I asked her for another $1. And I'm going to show you the testimony after this. I was proud because I asked her for the $1. But the testimony after that was that same ripped $1 that this woman gave me. And she didn't take it back. She gave me another $1. So it was like $2 or like $5 or something. Because I was trying to get them to at least pay like $5 or so. Which now I know I should have said my price instead of saying it was donation based. Well, I did tell her it was donation based, and I did say my prices, but she was like, $1. Tarot and oracle readings are still a little taboo in the world. Not everybody takes it as serious as a professional craft like people should be, because it is. So I go to the casino. I put the $1 in the machine knowing that it's a ripped $1. Like, I hope that this $1 goes in. Let me use this ripped $1. I put the $1 in the machine and I win like 50 something dollars. 60 something dollars with this ripped $1 that I wanted to give back to this drunk white older lady to literally share, like, exclaim the value in my tarot readings, but also me as a reader and as a human. And the universe shoots out 50, 60 something dollars, which I use to literally take me to my next transport, by the way. And my friend Tina, that night that I finally left their house after a few days, that night her and her husband gave me $20 or $40, and they're like, this is for you, use it, you know, for the casino or use it for whatever. They didn't tell me what to use it on. They just like use it or whatever. I was playing the machine to see if I could make back extra money, and I lost with the money that she gave me. But with the dollar, I ended up literally getting like 50 or 60 bucks back. And I was like, so it's like, I am a living, that is a testimony. Like, I was proud of myself because I expected this woman to treat my craft of tarot reading with respect and to pay me with a full, healthy, crunchy dollar. Because I did that, the universe responded to me almost immediately within the next hour, told me to go and play the dollar machine, and gave me back $50 to $60 for my transportation to my next spot. If you guys say positive thinking, manifestations, believing yourself doesn't work, you got another thing coming, because that was beautiful. And I just remembered that testimony and that story, and I'm like, whoa, that's true. That actually happened. So that was one of the cool things that happened when I was in Las Vegas. And lastly, I just want to say, for anybody who's experiencing houselessness and you're in Las Vegas was one of the strict states that I was in when it comes to people who are experiencing homelessness. They won't make you sit at the McDonald's, the public McDonald's, or any of the public places, especially if you're a girl or you don't have anywhere to go. They won't allow you to stay there for too long. They won't allow you to sit down and take a nap, take a rest, which is understandable because it's a restaurant, it's a fast food joint. People are coming in and out of there. And then it's Las Vegas, so you're drinking. But I wanted to start noting like the differences of how people treated people who were experiencing houselessness in each state. Vegas, it was pretty rough. I could understand that because their high crime is over there. So that's understandable, notably understandable. Especially with a lot of the other places. So that's my testimony today for In Good Faith Travel Adventure Testimonies. Today is a short episode. It was pretty straightforward, and my battery is a little bit low today, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick episode. If you guys appreciate this message, remember to subscribe, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also comment your travel experiences, or comment any questions you may have for me as a traveler that traveled in faith, of literally like my finance would be safe, I would be safe, and that it would all work out. In the beginning of the journey, just to testify, in the beginning of the journey, when I was like, where am I going to go next? Why am I going to these certain areas? My ancestors and the Holy Spirit was like, you do not have to see the whole path in order for the whole path to unfold. So what they were telling me to do is they wanted me to release control of like having a set agenda, because I'm a planner. So I want to plan things like 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance. I want to know where I'm going to eat. I want to know who's going to be there. I want to know how much is the menu. I want to know all these little details, which is good for traveling. But I know that my ancestors and the Holy Spirit, they wanted me to release control, and they wanted me to just go with the flow. They wanted me to have faith of a mustard seed, to know that even though it wasn't a guarantee that I would be in a hotel, or I would be here, I would be doing this, or I would be meeting this person, they wanted it to be random. And I know that the universe was teaching me a lesson of trust. The Holy Spirit was teaching me a lesson of like what true faith meant, because they were preparing me. They were preparing my faith, and they're preparing my trust, and where my grandparents, my ancestors, and the Holy Spirit was taking me. This is my spirit team. So I always say my ancestors, I always say the Holy Spirit. I won't ever walk away from the cross. I won't ever walk away from parables after everything that I went through. I'm a living, breathing miracle. The fact that I'm still alive after everything that was attempted to do to me in the spirit, I'm a living, breathing miracle, just like Jesus Christ. So yeah, make sure you guys show love. Make sure you guys go donate to the housing GoFundMe. And make sure you guys come back tomorrow for next testimony, which is going to be, I believe, California. I believe it was San Diego, California rescue mission. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. Peace.